What if the reason she stops thinking about you after a great date has nothing to do with your looks, your jokes, or even the conversation, but with 4 psychological switches that you never flipped and she never felt? Today, I am going to show you how to switch them on, deliberately and ethically, so her brain files you under unfinished priority and keeps returning to you again and again. This is not about games. This is about understanding how desire, attention, and bonding actually work in the female mind according to influence science, attachment theory, and what we know about dopamine, oxytocin, and the way we encode emotional memories. I want you laser-focused as you listen, because I am going to give you exact lines, micro-behaviors, and timing rules you can use from the first text to the third date, and I'm going to show you what to avoid so you do not accidentally deactivate attraction. As you follow this, you will feel a calm power replacing the old anxiety, because you will know exactly what to do and why it works. First, understand the mission. Attraction is not an event. It is a pattern your behavior creates inside her expectations. People do not fall for you. They fall for how they feel about themselves around you. That means your job is not to impress, perform, or prove you are worthy. Your job is to create the conditions that let her biology, her psychology, and her story of herself experience you as the most energizing choice. You do that by installing 4 mental triggers: tension with safety, intrigue with clarity, momentum with space, and imprinting with relatability. I'll call them the tension trigger, the mystery trigger, the rhythm trigger, and the imprint trigger. Each one has a precise purpose, a biochemical signature, and practical moves. Miss one and you will feel her interest stall. Stack all 4 and you will feel her curiosity rising on its own, even when you are not texting or calling, because the brain searches for resolution when the experience is open-looped in the right way. Before you execute, calibrate your frame. You lead with composure, not pressure. Women are hypersensitive to the difference between grounded intent and needy pursuit. Grounded intent is unapologetic. You like her, you are evaluating compatibility, you do not try to force rapport, and you are willing to walk away without drama. Neediness is covert bargaining masquerading as attention, constant availability, rapid escalation without calibration, over-explaining, and asking for reassurance. The masculine frame that attracts is calm, directional, and lightly playful. Think of it as the combination of boundaries, purpose, and a relaxed smile. It's not an act, it's an alignment. If you are not aligned yet, I will give you the micro-habits that display alignment before you feel it fully. Behavior trains emotion. You will act like a man whose life works, and your nervous system will catch up. Let's start with the tension trigger. In persuasion research, tension is not conflict. It is the energy produced by uncertainty plus significance. When something matters and the outcome is not predetermined, the brain releases dopamine to scan for patterns, and attention sharpens. Most men either remove all uncertainty by over-pursuing or remove all significance by acting indifferent. Both kill tension. Your task is to create a precise blend. You are available to the moment, not available on demand. You show interest without handing over your center. You express standards without lecturing. This produces a respectful friction her mind experiences as, he sees me, he is not chasing me, and I want to know what happens next. Here is how you execute the tension trigger in the very first interaction. Keep your first compliment specific and grounded in observation rather than worship. I like the way you framed that idea. You have a clean mind, lands deeper than generic praise. Specificity signals discernment, and discernment communicates value. Then you pair that with a playful boundary. After a good exchange, say, I like this pace, let's keep it there. Or, I am enjoying this, and I have to run in 5. Leave me with a controversial opinion. You're doing 2 things at once, acknowledging value and setting a time boundary. The time boundary elevates significance. Scarcity in Cialdini's research works when it is natural and justified. Artificial scarcity reads as manipulation. Your boundary is sincere and delivered with warmth. She experiences a small spike of tension as the interaction ends with energy still present. That spike writes your name into her short-term memory with a positive charge. On the first date, tension comes from direction plus frictionless logistics. Direction means you choose an environment that supports pacing and intimacy. Quiet enough to hear each other, dynamic enough to move, like a coffee and a walk, a gallery and a dessert, a rooftop and a short second location. 2 micro transitions are ideal. Every transition is a mini recommitment that her body experiences as, we do things together. Frictionless logistics shows competence. You book, you confirm, you arrive early, you choose a table with a view. Competence is arousing because it signals safety without controlling her. Then you maintain conversational tension by alternating between lanes, light observational play, shared values, subtle challenge, and glimpses of your mission. A soft challenge might be, I like that opinion. Sell me the part you're not fully convinced about. It's respectful and intriguing. You are not interrogating. You are inviting her best self forward. This establishes you as a mirror that brings out her edge. Now, the mystery trigger. Mystery is not secrecy or vagueness. Mystery is selective revelation that opens a curiosity gap. The curiosity gap is a concept from information theory and media psychology. When the brain senses missing but reachable information, attention locks on. You create this ethically by delivering high-signal details that hint at depth without dumping your entire autobiography. Most men either overshare everything to force intimacy or say almost nothing to appear cool. Both break the spell. Here is the rule. Reveal principles early, reveal stories later, reveal identity across time. Early on, share a principle that governs your life. I design my week around 3 anchors: training, building, and 1 sacred no-phone block. That is a high-signal sentence. It implies discipline, values, and boundaries. Then offer a glimpse with a withheld detail. The no-phone block is non-negotiable. There's a reason for it. If she asks, you do not deflect. You open a little more, but not everything. I learned the hard way that constant noise kills the part of me that writes. I protect that window because it protects me. You shared enough to feel real, and you left a door slightly open. Her mind does the rest. The key is truth. Fabricated mystique collapses. Authentic boundaries backed by real practices radiate. Mystery also comes from your relationship with social proof. Social proof can be toxic when it's bragging. It can be magnetic when it's ambient. Ambient social proof appears in your references without name-dropping. My training partner runs a small coffee lab. I steal his habits. I promised my sister I'd be the default driver for her Saturday class. These lines do not sell status, they show roots. Women feel safer investing in a man embedded in real life. The combination of roots and edges is irresistible. You are grounded and you are going somewhere. That is mystery with substance. Next, the rhythm trigger. Addiction language aside, what you want to create is not dependency, but a rhythm of anticipation and satisfaction that her nervous system recognizes as exciting and safe. The key variable in habit and reward research is reward prediction error. The brain learns most when outcomes slightly exceed or slightly fall short of expectation. You leverage this by pacing your interactions so there is a clear, consistent baseline. And then you vary intensity above that baseline on purpose. Consistency prevents anxiety. Variation prevents boredom. Most men do the opposite. They start intense and consistent and then collapse to zero, creating a whiplash that erodes trust. You are going to set a calm baseline from the start. Here is the baseline. Your response window is measured and reliable. Your texts are specific and forward-moving, and your invitations are clear with options. You do not linger in pointless chat. When you text, you offer a breadcrumb and a direction. I found a place that roasts Ethiopian beans the old way. Pick Tuesday or Thursday night. You also allow for her autonomy. If you prefer a daylight vibe, we do a Saturday walk. Choice increases buy-in. Then you vary intensity. Every third interaction, you add a small surprise, a voice note with a smile in it, a photo of a book paragraph you underlined with 1 sentence. This is the part that made me think of your answer about risk. It is light, it is anchored to her value, and it hits the reward circuits without flooding her phone. On the date, you do the same. Calm baseline conversation, 1 intense probe into values, 1 playful challenge, 1 sensory shift like moving to a window or stepping outside for 2 minutes. Those micro shifts prevent habituation. Rhythm also means endings. You end strong and early. Do not drag a date just because there is chemistry. End slightly before the natural fade. This was a good chapter. Let's not turn it into a trilogy tonight, with a grin, then a warm hug. Eye contact held a second longer, and you leave first. Why does this work? because the brain encodes peaks and endings. By setting a peak and ending with energy left, you write a memory that glows. You are not withholding. You are crafting experience like a skilled host. Hosts know when to close the night. Now the imprint trigger. Imprinting is how a brain binds meaning to a person. In attachment and memory research, we imprint through novelty plus emotional congruence. She needs to experience a cluster of feelings with you that she does not easily find elsewhere. Lightness, seenness, and direction. If you become the reliable context where these three feelings occur together, you become a mental shortcut her mind travels automatically. The way you create this is by engineering signature moments. A signature moment is not grand, it is precise. It is a line, a look, a silence, a choice that defines how it feels to be with you. You will build 3. The first signature moment is your clean yes and clean no. Most men are vague because they fear losing the chance. Vague men create vague feelings. You will demonstrate precision. When she asks for logistics that you cannot or do not want to meet, you answer cleanly with warmth. I can't do Friday late. I wake early on Saturdays to train. If you want to do Friday, 6 to 8 works. If night is your thing, we make it next week. That is a clean no disguised as a frame. She learns instantly that you have a spine and your spine is friendly. That combination is rare and deeply memorable. The second signature moment is your attentional silence. Modern attention is fragmented. Prolonged eye contact and comfortable quiet is rare. You will build a 3-minute window on the date where you lower the conversational speed without awkwardness. Here is how. After a good laugh or a deep insight, you take in the moment. You look at her with genuine appreciation. You let the air breathe, and you say softly, "Pause there. I like that you chose that word." Then silence. Not stare down, not tension test, simple presence. People remember who they can breathe around. Breathing safety is imprinting. The third signature moment is your micro-mission invitation. Purpose is attractive when it is invitational, not evangelical. You will share a small mission you are executing this month and invite her into a low-pressure slice of it. I'm mapping one perfect sunrise spot each Sunday this month. If you want to join one of them, we go, we bring thermos coffee, we say nothing for 10 minutes, and then we trade what we noticed. This is a signature because it is vivid, it has rules, and it reflects your values. Even if she cannot attend, the mental image imprints. You have become a man associated with a ritual. Rituals create belonging. Belonging amplifies desire. Now let's put all 4 triggers into a simple timeline you can apply from contact to third date. Contact, specific observation plus light boundary. You open with a line that demonstrates attention to detail. You have a disciplined posture. Did you train ballet or just good habits? If she answers with something interesting, you match her energy for a few exchanges, and you plant a time boundary. I have to jump in too. This was refreshing. Then, shortly after or the next day, you send a forward-moving message that mirrors her value and sets direction. That curiosity of yours is rare. Coffee and a 20-minute walk Tuesday or Thursday. Pick one and I'll choose a quiet route. Do not add emojis unless they fit your natural vibe. Your tone is warm, concise, and decisive. Date 1. You lead logistics. Choose a space that supports conversation and set the frame early. My goal tonight is easy. I want to see if we like each other in motion, not just in chat. That line signals play and standards. Through the date, you run the conversational lanes. Observations about the environment, a playful tease calibrated to what she shows, one values dive, one soft challenge, one micro story about your principle. For example, I throttle social media to 10 minutes a day. If I feel the brain fog rising, I reset with a cold rinse. You are not preaching. You are revealing a standard. At the 45 to 60-minute mark, if the energy is good, you transition. Walk me 5 minutes. I want to show you a view. You do not ask if that is okay. You assume positive intent and give her an easy out. The micro-transition raises energy, produces a mini-adventure, and showcases leadership. End early with warmth. If you feel a spark, do not fight it, but do not cash it all out. Kiss only if the moment writes itself. If not, do not force anything. The power is in the end. I like the way your mind edits out nonsense. Let's not over-pollute this. We'll do the next one with a better view. Between date 1 and date 2, you use the rhythm trigger. One message that references a specific detail she shared and ties it to a thought you had. I just read a line about courage being quiet. It rhymed with your comment about risk. I'll read it to you next time. Notice how this is a breadcrumb, not a paragraph. It builds anticipation without demanding attention. Then you offer a clear invitation for date 2 with a slight upgrade in intimacy. A cozy wine bar with a short-second location nearby, an afternoon market with a coffee after, a sunset walk with a rooftop. You keep transitions smooth and short. On date 2, you intensify presence. This is where you bring the attentional silence, the micro-mission invitation, and one clean boundary if needed. For example, if her phone lives on the table, you gently set the tone. You put your phone face down. Ask, "You want to be here for 60?" and smile as you pocket it. If she mirrors, great. If she does not, you stay fun, but you do not chase her attention. You are teaching her nervous system what being with you feels like, high quality. Date 3 is the emotional calibration date. By now, she has felt your consistency, your direction, your play, and your standards. You use this date to touch the edges that build deep attraction, generosity, protectiveness, and calm challenge. Generosity is not money. It is thoughtfulness. You remember her tea preference and order it without fanfare. Protectiveness is not control, it is micro-comfort. You choose the seat with the view of the entrance so she can relax. Calm challenge is an invitation to grow. If she says she tends to burn out, you do not lecture. You offer one sentence. I think you overcare without locking your own frame first. Say no faster, and your yes will be worth more. Then you move on. The point is not to fix her. The point is to show you see her with kindness and a spine. The spine is the masculine signature most women seek. Firm energy that never turns hard. Now the mistakes that deactivate these triggers so you never sabotage yourself again. First, the attention fire hose. Do not front-load intensity. When you flood her with constant texts, her brain adapts and files you as predictable. Predictable is safe but not stimulating. You want dependable with spark, not predictably constant. Second, the confession dump. Men confuse honesty with unloading. Honesty is calibrated truth. Share principles early, details later, intimacy across time. Third, the status theater. Bragging is the most efficient way to demonstrate insecurity. The more you need her to be impressed, the less she feels you. Replace status with standards. Standards are silent. Fourth, the fake mystery. Vagueness, ghosting, and manufactured scarcity destroy trust. Mystery is selective revelation backed by real life. Scarcity is a natural byproduct of a life with purpose. Fifth, the frame war. Never argue for your frame. Demonstrate it. If she tests you with sarcasm, respond with warmth and clarity. Cute. Now give me your real answer. If she pushes for last-minute changes that violate your priorities, you offer options while keeping your core intact. People respect what you protect. Let's go deeper into the biochemical layer so you understand why these behaviors work. Dopamine is not pleasure, it is pursuit. It rises when there is a valued target and uncertainty about the timing of reward. Your pacing exploits this ethically. You create valued experiences with slight unpredictability in timing and intensity. Oxytocin, the bonding chemical, rises with trust signals, touch, shared rituals, and attentive presence. Your attentional silence, your micro-rituals like sunrise coffee, and your consistent follow-through builds oxytocin gradually. Serotonin maps to status, competence, and a sense that your life is ordered. Your logistics, your calendar, and your clean yes-no elevate her perception of your internal order. When her brain experiences dopamine from anticipation, oxytocin from safety, and serotonin from respect all associated with you, she naturally seeks more contact. That is the healthy version of obsession mode. It is not compulsion, it is deep preference. I want you to internalize the small behaviors that broadcast this triad without effort. First, move with deliberateness. When you stand, stand fully. When you sit, own the chair. Do not fidget. Stillness communicates bandwidth. Second, speak in finished sentences. Most men trail off or end with upward intonation asking for approval. You will lower your tone at the end of sentences and let silence carry your words. Third, hold eye contact just past comfort and be the first to break with a small smile. That cadence is felt as confident and non-aggressive. Fourth, Anchor your week with rituals you can reference naturally. Training blocks, learning blocks, family commitments, quiet time. When you speak, these anchors appear in your language without shouting. Fifth, treat time like currency. Show up 5 minutes early, choose seats intentionally, end things on purpose. Sixth, practice the habit of precise praise. You think in clean lines. I like the restraint in your outfit. Your curiosity has a good engine, are examples. Precision is felt as rare. Now I will give you a template for conversations that maintains high engagement without you feeling like a performing seal. Think in loops of 5 minutes. Each 5-minute loop contains a present moment observation, a small self-reveal, a question that invites reflection, a playful tease, and a micro pause. For example, loop 1. This place smells like cedar and espresso. It's a good decision. Self-reveal. I'm a sucker for rooms with wood and light. It resets me. Question. What kind of spaces reset you? Tease after her answer. So you are a light addict with minimalist tendencies. Noted. Micro pause with a smile. Loop 2. Use her answer to bridge into values. You said nature. How do you protect that in a busy week? Self-reveal. I guard my Saturday morning walk like a monk. Question. What's your non-negotiable? Tease. If you say sleeping in, I am staging an intervention. Micro pause. This looped structure prevents dead air without turning the date into an interview. Another powerful tool is calibrated disqualification. You signal you are not trying to fit into her expectations while complimenting her in a way that keeps both of you grounded. We would argue about movies. I like scripts that leave quiet gaps. Or, you are charmingly opinionated. I'd have to earn my place in your calendar. Notice the language, it's light, it implies you are selective, and it presumes mutual evaluation. That dynamic keeps the tension trigger alive without stress. Touch is a language. Touch too early or too much and she feels managed. Touch too late and she never transitions out of the cerebral lane. You will use micro-touches calibrated to her comfort signals. A brief hand touch when you cross the street, a gentle back guide through a crowded space, a playful high five that lingers a fraction too long, a cheek kiss on exit if earned. Each touch is brief, respectful, and paired with eye contact. The purpose is not to escalate for the sake of escalation. It is to ground the experience in the body, where attraction lives. Pay attention to her reciprocation. Does she lean in, mirror, or freeze? Respond accordingly. Consent is not a checkbox. It is a continuous read. Let's address texting cadence in detail because most men lose the frame on the phone. Texting is for logistics, light callbacks, and planting hooks. It is not for dumping your personality. When you text, use sensory words and specificity. Instead of had fun, say, still thinking about that cinnamon orange aftertaste. Instead of you looked nice, say, the sharp line of your jacket was a statement. Then you move to direction. Round 2, Wednesday or Sunday afternoon? If she gives a vague answer, do not chase. Convert vague into concrete. Choose one. I'll handle the rest. If she counters with a time that does not work, do not contort. Offer the nearest alternative that respects your schedule. If she goes cold, do not flood her inbox. After a respectful window, send one high-value message that reopens a loop, and if there is no response, you release. We created a good first chapter. If timing becomes sane, we pick it up. Your dignity is non-negotiable. Nothing is more attractive than a man who can let go without resentment. Now, let us refine your inner posture, because no technique survives a weak core. You need a mission that outranks romance. Women feel safest investing in a man who is already invested in something larger than either of you. That mission can be building a business, mastering a craft, serving your family, training your body, or contributing to a cause. The mission orients your boundaries. It explains why you sleep early, why you do not drink on weeknights, why you do not waste weekends. It structures your mood. A man with a mission is less reactive because his day has weight. That weight magnetizes. Your speech becomes economical. Your choices consistent. In Jungian terms, your logos, the structured, directional aspect, holds your eros, the relational, connective aspect, so neither becomes chaotic. Women intuit this balance without analyzing it. They just feel it. Here is a daily practice to harden your frame and soften your presence at the same time. Morning. 30 minutes of body discipline. It can be lifting, calisthenics, or a hard walk with incline. Finish with a cold rinse to sharpen your will. Midday, one undistracted 90-minute block on your craft. No phone, no messages. This builds the muscle of deep work, which spills into how you listen. Evening, 10 minutes of stillness, then a 5-sentence journal answering 3 prompts. Where I kept my word, where I wobbled, what I will do tomorrow to align. These rituals are not lifestyle fluff. They change your aura. Yes, aura. People feel the frictionless power of a man whose actions match his words. You also need to master the repair move because attraction survives mistakes when repair is clean. If you fumble, late arrival, a careless comment, an overstep, own it fast without drama. I missed the mark there. I respect your time. Next time, I move earlier. Or that joke landed wrong. My intention is play, not sting. Then you pivot forward. No self-flagellation. Clean repair increases trust because it shows self-leadership. Let's return to the 4 triggers and embed them into a compact checklist you can run before and during any interaction. Before, what is my intention for this interaction? Connection, not validation. What is my boundary? Time and energy. What is my reveal? 1 principle, 1 glimpse. What is my plan? 2 micro-transitions. During, am I alternating lanes? Am I using precise praise? Am I holding silence without tension? Am I ending early with warmth? After, did I send 1 high-signal callback tied to her value? Did I set direction with options? Did I maintain rhythm without flooding? Now I will equip you with phrases calibrated for each trigger so you are never stuck. For the tension trigger, I like your taste for clarity. You do not pad your thoughts. Hold that. Give me the version you saved for later. I'm enjoying this frame. Let's keep it crisp. I can stay 10, then I switch into building mode. For the mystery trigger, I build my week around 3 anchors. It keeps me sharp. There's a reason I protect silence. Remind me to tell you when we are walking. I have a Sunday ritual that civilians make fun of. They are wrong. I'm good at disappearing my phone. That's how I keep my edges. For the rhythm trigger, pick Tuesday evening or Saturday morning. Both work for different reasons. Voice note warning, 10 seconds only. Then you send a warm 10-second note. This place has 1 table worth sitting at. I got it. This was a good chapter. We leave the rest for next time. For the imprint trigger, I like how you edit out noise. It is a rare discipline. You are good company for silence. Not many are. I am mapping 4 sunrise spots this month. Claim 1. Clean, yes, I'm in for Thursday early. Clean, no. I'm out for late nights. Use these as scaffolding until your own voice takes over. The goal is not to memorize lines. It is to internalize principles so your words become naturally precise. What about tests? Tests are often misread. Most tests are calibration attempts. She is checking if your frame is stable, if your softness hides a spine, if your kindness is a strategy or a character. Respond with warmth and clarity. If she says, "You must do this with everyone," you smile. I reserve effort for good company. So far, you qualify. If she says, "Do you ever break rules?" you grin. Selectively. Earn it. If she pushes for rapidly shifting plans that cost you core commitments, you say, "I like spontaneity inside a frame. I do not break anchors. Here's what I can do." The subtext is constant. You are a man who can be moved but not swayed. There is 1 more layer you must master: desire language. Desire language is the clean expression of what you want without pressure. It sounds like this: "I like you, I want to see where this goes, and I am not in a rush." Or, "I find you deeply attractive. Let's move at a pace that keeps it fun." Or, "I want to kiss you. If you are not there, I can wait." This language is masculine because it stakes a claim. It is safe because it honors her choice. Most men either hide desire behind jokes or push desire with entitlement. Clean desire dissolves anxiety and increases attraction. Let's talk about boundaries without friction. Boundaries are not walls, they are edges. You communicate them simply and early, mostly by living them. If she texts late and you are asleep by design, you respond in the morning without apology. I shut down early. Mornings are my zone. If she asks for access that undermines your mission, you offer alternatives that protect your core. I won't skip training. Join me after, or we set a different time. If she becomes inconsistent in a way that disrespects the vibe, you reset with kindness. I like how we started. If we keep changing at the last minute, it loses its charm. Let's plan clean or pause. The man who can end a dynamic without bitterness is the man women remember. Ironically, that is the man they rarely want to lose. Now integrate aesthetics, because style speaks before you do. Your clothes should be a visual sentence. Simple, fitted, textured. Build a uniform that supports your frame. Dark denim or tailored trousers, clean sneakers or leather boots, a well-cut tee or Oxford, a jacket with structure. Avoid loud brands. It reads as trying. Aim for quiet excellence, high-quality fabric, subtle details, excellent grooming. Scent lightly. 1 or 2 pulses, never more. Let your watch and shoes do most of the talking. This is not vanity. It is respect. Beauty recognizes care. Your environment should mirror your inner order. Clear the trunk of your car, organize your desk, keep your kitchen minimalist and functional. When she steps into your space and senses order without rigidity, plants, books with bookmarks, tidy counter, a playlist that supports conversation, she relaxes. Relaxation is attraction's ally. Your home should be a sanctuary, not a trophy shelf. Showcase tools of your mission, not symbols of status. A guitar on a stand, a kettlebell by the window, a whiteboard with goals, a stack of books. The message is simple. I live with intention. Now answer the question that men whisper, what if she pulls away? The response is not strategy, it is standards. If she pulls away softly, you match her pace and maintain warmth. You do not ice her to punish, you release pressure. After a respectful window, you send one clean line that offers reconnection without need. I liked what we were building. Timing felt off. If it levels, I'm open. Then you return to your mission. If she returns with energy, you lead anew. If she returns with crumbs, you decline politely. The standard is this: you do not compete for energy, you respond to it. As you practice, track results like a scientist. Do not count dates, count alignment. After each interaction, ask yourself, did I maintain my mission? Did I express clean desire? Did I create tension without anxiety? Did I leave room for mystery without vagueness? Did I pace the rhythm with consistency and variation? Did I create at least one signature moment? This reflection turns experience into skill. Skill compounds. I will close by giving you a visualization that reprograms your baseline state. Picture a line down the center of your body. On the left side lives your drive, ambition, hunger, pursuit. On the right side lives your presence, stillness, warmth, attention. Most men swing between these sides. Attractive men integrate them. Each morning, breathe down that center line and choose 3 moves that feed both sides. Train your body, build your craft, and engage one human being with full attention. When you show up to a date from that integrated baseline, the 4 triggers are not tactics. They are reflections of who you are becoming. From now on, speak less and mean more. Move slower and decide faster. Compliment precisely and challenge softly. Lead logistics and protect your time. Share your principles, not your wounds, until trust is earned. End nights early with warmth and plan the next chapter with clarity. Build rituals she can imagine herself inside. When you do this, you do not need to manufacture obsession. You become the man whose presence makes her nervous system feel alive and safe at the same time, and that is the rarest combination. That is the essence of the tension trigger, the mystery trigger, the rhythm trigger, and the imprint trigger working together. Take this into your week. Clean your space, refine your uniform, lock your anchors, choose a venue with intention, and send one precise invitation. When she steps into your frame, let her feel that you are already in motion and that she is welcome to join. If she does, lead with calm. If she does not, bless it and stay in motion. A man who can do both will never be short of connection. He will be the center point others naturally orbit, not because he chases attention, but because he radiates direction. That is how you activate the healthy version of obsession. Her mind returning to you because you return her to the best version of herself whenever she is with you.